Welcome to Kansas Ag Report with your host, Bryan Hallman.
Welcome to Kansas Ag Report. I'm Bryan Hallman, and here's our lineup for today's show. In Ag News, we'll take a look at local and national headlines affecting Kansas farmers. In our Ag Feature, we'll sit down with Justin Gilpin from the Kansas Wheat Commission. Inside Kansas Ag will give us a look into a recent visit ag researchers from Australia made to K-State. And in news you need to know, Scarlett Hagins has our weekly update from Kansas Livestock Association. We'll look back at last week's market activity with the guys from Paragon, and we'll let you know about important events coming up around the state of Kansas. Glad you could join us.
Closed captioning brought to you by Dick Edwards in Manhattan, selling America's #1 truck, the Ford F-150, for over 30 years. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. kansassoybeans.org.
Ag Risk Solutions. Experience, knowledge, integrity. Your crop insurance solution, Ag Risk Solutions. Dick Edwards Auto Plaza in Junction City, home of this year's Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Ram Truck. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Here's our national headlines for this week in Ag News. U.S. cattle on feed totaled 10.9 million head on April 1st. That's down 1% from last year. This inventory included steer and steer calves, which were up 2% from 2013, and heifer calves, which were down 6%. Marketings of fed cattle during March this year were down as much as 5% lower than the 2013 inventories. President Obama met this week with Japan's Prime Minister, trying to end a deadlock between the two countries over tariff concessions the U.S. wants as part of the Trans-Pacific Partnership trade deal. The tariff dispute pivots on Japan's refusal to negotiate on the elimination of import tariffs in 5 sacred categories: rice, dairy, sugar, wheat, and pork and beef. The U.S. sold $12.1 billion in food and ag products to Japan in 2013. Ag Secretary Tom Vilsack recently announced his agency will require the reporting of porcine epidemic diarrhea virus in order to slow the spread of the disease. In addition to the reporting of the virus, the USDA is also requiring the tracking of pigs, vehicles, and other equipment leaving any affected facility. PEDV does not pose any risk to humans, nor is it a food safety concern, but is severely affecting the U.S. swine population. And in local news, Kansas State University will be hosting the 2015 International Grain Quality and Food Security Conference in August of 2015. Participants and presenters will include scientists, engineers, economists, and professionals from all areas of food and agricultural industries. The 2-day conference will focus on how to prepare for the challenges of feeding 9 billion people by 2050. The sorghum industry is working with the Risk Management Agency to create a better insurance product for irrigated grain sorghum by building a data set of proven yield for well-managed grain sorghum. National Sorghum Producers is looking for farmers to help gather this data, which will remain confidential. If interested, you can email NSP directly at nationalsorghumproducers@sorghumgrowers.com. Farmers are hard at work planting this year's crops and often need to use the road to get to their fields. Barrington Farmer and United Soybean Board Director Bob Hazelwood reminds motorists to be on the lookout when sharing the road this spring with farm equipment. Hazelwood suggests motorists keep a safe distance to allow for sudden stops and wide turns on rural roads. The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center continues to grow as the Wheat Genetics Resource Center scientists are getting settled into their new lab space at the center. This partnership will allow wheat research capabilities to expand even further. Founded in 1982, the WGRC collects, conserves, and utilizes wild wheat germplasm for crop improvements and sustainable production in the wheat industry. Up next in our Ag Feature, we'll sit down with Justin Gilpin, CEO of the Kansas Wheat Commission, to discuss current crop conditions. You're watching Kansas Ag Report. Please stay tuned. You can find us on the web at kansasagreport.com and make sure to like us on Facebook.
This segment brought to you by Renzi Seeds, Midwest growers' best ally for over 70 years. RenziSeeds.com. RenZE Seeds.com.
A.B. Flint Motor Company, selling quality used cars and trucks in Southeast Topeka at 32nd and South Kansas Avenue. Integrity Gun and Pawn, 2 Topeka locations specializing in firearms and training. igpawn.com to learn more. Kansas Wheat Commission, leaders in the adoption of profitable innovations for wheat. Online at kswheat.com.
Price, selection, dependability. That's the Dick Edwards way. It's a standard that we've lived by for over 30 years, and it continues today with a wide selection of America's most affordable and dependable brands. Ford, Lincoln, Mazda, and Hyundai. We don't draw you in with gimmicks or false promises. Just upfront, honest pricing from great salespeople, always going the extra mile to find the perfect car, truck, or SUV just for you. That's the way it's always been, because that's the Dick Edwards way. Dick Edwards Ford, 2 miles east of the Town Center Mall on Highway 24.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
At Ag Risk Solutions, we have been helping our clients make better crop insurance decisions since 1981. We always focus on helping you find the best coverage options for your farm, and it will give you peace of mind knowing you have a partner you can trust. To learn more about our agency, please visit our website, like us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter. Ag Risk Solutions. Experience, knowledge, integrity. Your crop insurance solution.
Ag Risk Solutions is an equal opportunity provider.
Since 1983, the Hydrobed has been utilized on cattle operations throughout North America. The Hydrobed equips your 3/4 or 1-ton truck for hay handling and feeding. Variable speed cable controls or the optional wireless remote enable you to haul, transport, and unroll 2 round bales weighing up to 3,000 pounds each. A mechanical free float automatically compensates for uneven ground and out of round bales, isolating you and the truck from impact of bale unrolling. To find out how the Hydrobed can improve your feeding efficiency, call or visit us on the web at triple-c-inc.com.
Here at Blue River Traders, we have the greatest selection of rustic and western furniture in Kansas.
At Blue River Traders, you can select from an inventory of rustic lodge or western furnishings. With a designer on hand, Blue River Traders will help create the look you desire.
Justin, it's good to see you.
Always good to see you, Brian.
Hey, Mother Nature was not kind to Kansas wheat farmers this year. It's been a really tough, not only fall, but spring.
Oh, that's for sure. You know, every year is different with wheat, and it seems like, you know, wheat is a pretty resilient crop, but certainly this year it's been tested. It's tested from right after, like you mentioned, right after it was planted in the fall. We had actually decent moisture starting in September compared to what we've had maybe the last 3 or 4 years, so there was some reason for optimism. But then things just really started to dry out in October, November. And as that crop kind of got emerged and started to use a little bit of moisture going into dormancy, it was clear that we were already short on moisture. And so being short on moisture, not getting a lot of moisture over the winter, really impacted that crop. As soon as things started to green up and warm up here this spring, and those drought conditions really started to expose themselves. That's why when you look at the crop conditions put out by NASS, you know, we've got some of the lower crop conditions that we've had in the last 10 years, this past year. You know, we also, if you look even at our southern states, Texas, Oklahoma are in pretty difficult shape too, mostly because of the drought. But when you say Mother Nature has been kind of hard on us, it wasn't just a lack of rain. It was probably one of the harsher winters that we've had in a while. And so we got exposed while we were in dormancy to some potential of winter kill, and so we're definitely seeing that where some fields didn't come out of dormancy, and we're definitely going to lose some wheat because of that winter kill, and it's really got exacerbated because of the drought conditions.
I think the overall estimated numbers, and correct me if I'm wrong, was a little over 9 million acres planted, somewhere around in there. Yeah. Abandonment may become an issue.
That's the real variable this year. You know, when trying to figure out, and then the market's always trying to say, you know, where the Kansas crop is, and that's why the wheat tour predominantly goes through Kansas. Kansas, you know, may have up to 30 or 40% of the hard red winter wheat production this year in the state or in the U.S. because of the lack of production in Texas and Oklahoma. And so where is that Kansas number, and what's that going to be? Ultimately is going to depend on how many acres get harvested. On average, usually it's about 8 or 10% that do not get harvested one reason or another. Some gets grazed out, some may not, just get hailed out or whatever it might be. But this year, we know we're going to lose some acres to winter kill. There's been some acres that have already been zeroed out by adjusters. But then out west and southwest Kansas, some of those fields that are really struggling from drought, it's really a question whether or not those are going to get harvested or if they're going to get abandoned. So right now it's looks like it's going to be higher than average on abandonment for the state of Kansas.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to finish up with Justin, and we're going to talk about what's going on at the Wheat Innovation Center and some other exciting research being done here in Manhattan, Kansas. We'll see you in just a minute.
This segment brought to you by Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. Farmers Insurance, your best protection against the unexpected. Call Agent Dan Key at 785-408-5459. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. grassandgrain.com. Blue River Traders, the finest selection of Western-style furniture for your home. BlueRiverTraders.com.
Justin, thanks for staying with us.
Thank you.
Wheat Innovation Center, basically a year. I think it's been close to at least a year. Am I close to my timing there?
You are. It's about 1 year ago. Now we're having our groundbreaking, our open house.
Open house. We know we've got researchers moving in from all over the world, all over the U.S. coming in. A lot of things going on here.
Oh, it's pretty exciting stuff, and it's all happened because of farmers' investment in the Kansas Wheat Innovation Center and wheat research here at Kansas State University. We recently were awarded the National Science Foundation Center for industry and university collaboration, and so we're really excited about that. We've got several companies that will be coming in working on alongside of Kansas State researchers with the Wheat Genetics Resource Center. That Wheat Genetics Resource Center is something that's been funded by Kansas farmers for over 40 years now, and actually the first funding for those initial collections came from the Kansas Wheat Commission back when we were still located in Hutchinson. So it's really a unique story about how Kansas farmers had a vision and began investing and seeing that the value of that genetic diversity and how that's evolved to a large collection that's used by researchers around the world. And now all of that work is housed here in Manhattan at the Kansas Wheat Innovation Center, and companies are going to be coming here, and that's a really great story to tell, and that it's all thanks to Kansas wheat farmers.
Anything exciting? I know that every day is a new day when we talk about genetics and biotechnology when it comes to wheat and things like that. Anything exciting coming up?
Well, there's quite a bit exciting that's happening right now. Wheat is always going to dominate the discussion about what's happening with the weather. And so what researchers are trying to do is trying to find a way to make the Kansas wheat crop more resilient to whether it's drought, freeze, or heat tolerance. There's some real focused priority work that's going on looking at identifying some drought and heat tolerant traits that we can include into some new varieties that'll be coming to Kansas farmers and probably in the hands of Kansas farmers here in the next 5 to 7 years. Wheat has kind of lagged behind some of the yield gains that soybeans and corn has had. But we're really seeing an opportunity for some low-hanging fruit to go after here for wheat researchers, and I think it's going to make a big difference, not just for total wheat production for the state of Kansas, but for revenue per acre for farmers. And that's what we really ultimately need to do. Is Kansas farmers are some of the most diversified farmers in the U.S., planting many different crops, and when they have wheat in their rotation, or they're a 100% wheat farmer out west, we need to make that as profitable as option as possible for those farmers, and being resilient to some of those, whether it's heat or drought, and having yield stability is going to be really important. And so there's some exciting things coming.
Justin, thank you for your time.
It's always great to be with you, Brian.
And we want to remind everybody, if you haven't had the opportunity to come to Manhattan and tour, you guys give tours. People walk in all the time. They give tours here. Walk in and take a tour of this facility. It is unbelievable what's going on here in Manhattan, Kansas.
Thank you, Brian.
If you'd like to advertise your business on Kansas Ag Report, give us a call at 785-554-5974.
grain industry and communication specialist from Australia visited Kansas State University to see how K-State Research and Extension uses technology to get research-based information to Kansas farmers.
What we're learning here is how to develop close contact with the audiences, the citizens, the farmers, the next users, and we're really learning a lot about how both the cooperative extension system has been structured to do that, as well as how technology is being developed and deployed to support that audience-centric collaboration.
Dan Cotton, former director of E-Extension, invited the group to the E-Extension conference in California to learn more about the internet-based collaboration between land-grant universities to provide research-based information. E-Extension has also formed a partnership with Australia.
Early in 2013, we were approached to see if we would be interested in a partnership that would help them and the Greens Research and Development Corporation of Australia, if we would be interested in working with them to help them establish learning networks in crop diseases and crop nutrition.
Next, they visited several land-grant universities to observe grain research and how technology is being used to reach farmers.
We're an E-Extension project team, and we're piloting the American E-Extension model in Australia. So we're testing the applicability of the E-Extension US model for the Australian grains industry.
It's been a great opportunity to come over and learn about all the different techniques and ways that people get information out into the public and to the farmers where they need it.
The group also met with a wheat farmer near Topeka to learn how he receives research-based information.
So I'm coming from a science organisation, a research organisation, and there's that whole need to, as that research rolls through and we get the results of it that have benefits for farmers, we need to get that information out to farmers. So if we can't do that face-to-face anymore, then if by using the E-Extension platform, the electronic forms of communicating, if that allows us to get more of that information out to the farmers, then so much the better. And this is it's one method to add to what we've got existing to try to get that science out where it can be of use.
We learned a lot, and we thought that was something that we could really learn from about the cooperative extension system in the United States, as well as the E-Extension component of that system.
You can find us on the web at kansasagreport.com and make sure to like us on Facebook.
This segment brought to you by Renzi Seeds, Midwest growers' best ally for over 70 years. RenziSeeds.com, RENZE Seeds.com. A.B. Flint Motor Company, selling quality used cars and trucks in Southeast Topeka at 32nd and South Kansas Avenue. Integrity Gun and Pawn, 2 Topeka locations specializing in firearms and training. IGPawn.com to learn more. Impact Satellite, your local authorized DirecTV dealer. Impact Satellite at 785-554-5974.
Imagine having someone help you pick the best corn hybrids for every field on your farm. Your Oldie representative can combine your data with his data to offer a field-by-field prescription. Contact Oldie Seed today at 877-692-4555.
Trending now at Dick Edwards Auto Plaza, Kia and Dodge, Ford and Jeep, all at one location. Kia, affordable, stylish, reliable. Ram, rugged, spacious, powerful. Ford, legendary, dependable, tough. Jeep, off-road, on-road, limitless possibilities. Dick Edwards Auto Plaza, I-70 and Highway 77 in Junction City.
Tammy the Pro Home Plus is all about providing warmth and kindness to aging individuals who find it difficult to live on their own. Tammy's team is made up of experienced caregivers and nurses committed to the highest level of individualized care, focusing on health and well-being, and assisting with nutrition, grooming, medications, therapies, and daily living needs, all in a warm, caring environment. Call Tammy the Pro Home Plus today at 785-383-7094 to learn how we can help.
The producer-funded Kansas Wheat Innovation Center was built to get improved varieties into the hands of farmers faster. Kansas Wheat, farmers advancing their future through wheat genetics research.
Price, selection, dependability. That's the Dick Edwards way. It's a standard that we've lived by for over 30 years, and it continues today with a wide selection of America's most affordable and dependable brands. Ford, Lincoln, Mazda, and Hyundai. We don't draw you in with gimmicks or false promises. Just upfront, honest pricing from great salespeople, always going the extra mile to find the perfect car, truck, or SUV just for you. That's the way it's always been, because that's the Dick Edwards way. Dick Edwards Ford, 2 miles east of the Town Center Mall on Highway 24.
This hog is head over hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. Our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at BeyondTheElevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Since 1983, the Hydrobed has been utilized on cattle operations throughout North America. The Hydrobed equips your 3/4 or 1-ton truck for hay handling and feeding. Variable speed cable controls or the optional wireless remote enable you to haul, transport, and unroll 2 round bales weighing up to 3,000 pounds each. A mechanical free float automatically compensates for uneven ground and out of round bales, isolating you and the truck from impact of bale unrolling. To find out how the Hydrobed can improve your feeding efficiency, call or visit us on the web at triple-c-inc.com.
Response was excellent to the recently completed Beef Quality Assurance Certification promotion sponsored by Boehringer Ingelheim. According to the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, 7,732 producers completed the online Beef Quality Assurance training to become certified between February 3rd and April 15th. Boehringer Ingelheim paid the $25 to $50 fee during this period and provided financial support to the Beef Cattle Institute at Kansas State University, which developed the online certification modules. More than 11,000 producers nationwide have been certified through 2 years of the promotion. That includes 315 Kansans in 2013 and 447 this year. Ranchers, feeders, and dairymen are encouraged to recertify every 3 years. To become certified or recertified, go to www.animalcaretraining.org. The checkoff-funded Beef Quality Assurance Program incorporates proper cattle management techniques. These best management practices are designed to deliver better quality beef and increase consumer confidence. Ranchers have reported increased profitability as the practices are implemented.
If you'd like to advertise your business on Kansas AgReport, give us a call at 785-554-5974.
Hi, I'm Brian Holder with Paragon Ag. Grain markets continue to trade at lofty levels this week in somewhat of a holding pattern. Corn remains well supported with last week's planting pace at 19%, slightly behind the 5-year average of 28%. This last week's rain kept most planters in the shed and will cause us to fall further behind the 5-year average pace. Short term, this should support the futures, and while everyone believes we will get the crop in, the market's job is to make sure. In the long run, planting delays should not be a serious concern and will have only a minor impact on final yield. As long as demand remains on pace with the USDA, we don't see a reason this market needs to fall apart. But neither are we seeing a lot of upside from here until we see any real weather summer problems. Soybean market bulls continue to dominate and will remain in the driver's seat until we solve the old crop supply issue. For the wheat, good to excellent rating slid another point this week to 33% nationally, matching our rating this time last year. Kansas, however, is 6% lower than last year, Oklahoma 14% lower. Helping to offset is Colorado at 25% higher, and Nebraska is also 44% higher than last year. Crop stress will continue, and even with the frustration of dryness, wheat traders have seen this before, and market bulls may have to wait until post-harvest to see the next major leg higher. For now, at these prices, with the world's ample supply, bulls will have to prove that the wheat's not there. For questions or comments, give Paragon a call at 888-452 8751.
Closed captioning brought to you by Dick Edwards in Manhattan, selling America's #1 truck, the Ford F-150, for over 30 years. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. kansassoybeans.org.
Ag Risk Solutions. Experience, knowledge, integrity. Your crop insurance solution, Ag Risk Solutions. Dick Edwards Auto Plaza in Junction City, home of this year's Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Ram Truck. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Well, that's our show for today. I hope you'll join us each week for more news and information about agriculture in the state of Kansas. I'm Bryan Hallman, and thanks for watching.
Here at Blue River Traders, we have the greatest selection of rustic and western furniture in Kansas.
At Blue River Traders, you can select from an inventory of rustic lodge or western furnishings. With a designer on hand, Blue River Traders will help create the look you desire.
Spring is sprung, and Premier Farm and Home has what you need to keep your yard crabgrass free throughout the season. With a complete line of pre-emergents, you can stop crabgrass before it starts. Premier Farm and Home, 900 Southwest University Boulevard, or find them on the web at heycow.com.
Tammy the Pro Home Plus is all about providing warmth and kindness to aging individuals who find it difficult to live on their own. Tammy's team is made up of experienced caregivers and nurses committed to the highest level of individualized care, focusing on health and well-being, and assisting with nutrition, grooming, medications, therapies, and daily living needs, all in a warm, caring environment. Call Tammy the Pro Home Plus today at 785-383-7094 to learn how we can help.